the Stanley U.S. Most Haunted Hotel, Our Return by Sam Colby. So, and I'm sorry that I didn't react to a video yesterday, so yeah, so let's get started.
It's one of the spookiest hotels in the country.
Known for a lot of its paranormal activity.
The Stanley Hotel is the most famous and most haunted location in the United States.
We actually have this entire place to ourselves.
When we walked into this room, I was like, there's someone here.
It's haunted, and it's been haunted for a long time. I have heard voices, been touched. I've also been made physically ill.
The Estes method was created at the Stanley Hotel. We are going to interview the founder.
It's been me.
According to Christian theology, that is what a demon is right there.
Oh, that's terrifying.
But it is the most haunted room here.
Yes.
It's with you, it's following you. You're the one who has to command it to leave.
I think that there's haunted people, not haunted places.
There is something attached to me. 2, 3.
That freaked me out.
You too. 2, 3.
Degrees? Are you kidding me?
By the time we get to the Stanley, it's gonna be a full-on snowstorm.
This is our most viewed video on our channel that we've ever filmed, ever. And we're going back!
I'm so beyond excited.
Wait, yo, it got scary.
That's Stephen King! Wait, I think that's it.
That's it right there.
Yo!
It looks so different in the winter.
It's so different. And we back, baby.
Oh my God, we are actually here.
We're here.
We'll never leave, right?
Probably not. A lot of people don't.
Vortex, right there.
Oh,
Remember
Vortex, yes. Oh my.
the apparition on the stairs?
So we originally had rented out 217. They said it's under construction or something like that right now?
We had things break.
Things break like by themselves.
No.
So we never did this elevator last time?
No. This elevator calls the police randomly by itself.
Red rum. Red rum.
Dude, do you recognize this?
Yes, this is the staircase that
This is the-
Jake smacked his head on.
Last time we were here.
Jake! Oh my god. Guys, when Sam and Colby say Jake and Corey, I was like, mind blown.
Here we found a lollipop at the top, and that is supposed to be the trigger object for the ghost Lucy.
I missed
Shit. Oh, something doesn't want us in this room.
I like, why is it him?
Yo,
Actually, though.
what? That's what happened at Hotel Del, I think.
What the hell?
No way.
How was that so easy that time? It smells like a boys' locker room, dude.
But this isn't the haunted room. We got another one, 428, which we actually stayed at the last time we were here.
Second most haunted room here. Oh my god, we're back.
Stop cleaning the hotel, please.
All right, let's see if we have more luck on this one than the other one.
Oh, shit.
Oh, this one smells good. Whoa!
This brings back
memories.
Dude, the couch used to be over here.
Yeah, blast from the past, though.
This room's so much colder. It
Yeah.
smells so good in here.
Yeah, yours was a little mildewy.
Smells like roses or something.
This is the first time we ever used the spirit box.
Yeah, can you imagine that? And we called it an EMF reader.
Look how much those ferns grew. Remember the maze? They're trying to make it like The Shining. Dude, we might get snowed in here.
Actually.
And we don't have like snow.
We have nothing. And we're like the only ones staying here.
Wait! Stephen King was the only one that stayed here when he wrote the movie.
Are you serious?
This is like, what?
Living this movie.
I can like feel it. This like whole place has me feeling so weird.
Can you pick up on a lot of stuff going
Like
on? Yeah,
immediately when we walked into this room, I was like, there's someone here. They were already here before we stepped in.
Here's the ghost, apparently, of 428.
428. A couple years ago, back Somebody woke to find a Wild West cowboy pacing at the end of their bed.
Right there, dude.
That's exactly where I'm sitting right now.
You're sitting on the cowboy's lap, bro. How's it feel?
Feels great. After watching him for a few minutes, they politely asked him to leave, which he did, but not before leaning over to the lady as if he was going to kiss her.
What a creep!
Female guests sometimes wait to find him leaning in for a kiss on the forehead.
Oh my god! I hope he kisses me.
Yeah, maybe we should dress up like girlfriend, man. Guys, there's something we haven't.
No!
Are you a Roblox fanatic?
No! They
Microsoft
said that
Rewards
they're gonna tell us
It's a
something.
brand new way for you to earn digital gift cards from Roblox.
Skip.
There's something we haven't told you.
Is it that it's going to be 14 degrees here this weekend?
Well, we did tell you that.
We mentioned that. Sam has a demon in his ass.
Maybe you should see a doctor.
Yeah, it hurts. So guys, unlike our normal episodes, we are filmed the entire season 1 prior to it releasing, so we haven't really talked about this publicly yet. The last 7 places that we've been getting the same answers over and over and over again, and literally something is saying multiple different ways that there is something attached to me. Always comes in the same name, points to even like the colors that I'm wearing.
Clearly picking you out.
Clearly picking me out, and I don't know whether to be scared or not.
Do you like feel it with you?
It only really feels weird when I'm at haunted locations.
Well, the first time that I ever like met you guys was for the Conjuring video, right? Lizzie
Yeah.
Borden and all that. And then a lot of people were saying like, you guys should have had me see if Colby had an attachment to him or what was following Colby around. Comment after comment was saying that something was with Colby.
Why
And I
do you
told my
think?
mom, I said there was something with them, but it wasn't attached to Colby, it was with Sam. So it's been with you since before I met you.
No way.
But it's never been anything that like
Guys, before... Sorry. Before Amanda met Sam and Colby, they went to the Queen Mary, so they said, Colby said if the people, they were there, and then he said the Queen Mary's gonna close, and then he said that wouldn't you think we were the last ones that could get an attachment from where we whatever, and I believe Sam has an attachment from the Queen Mary. They went to the Sally House, they went to the Lizzie Borden, to Conjuring. I don't know.
concerned.
Wait, so you think this was pre-Conjuring?
I think that this is pre-Conjuring.
Or you saw it at the Conjuring, or you saw it like before
I saw
Lizzie
it before,
Borden
like,
even.
yeah, when I first met you, you had something with you.
What?
Well, I don't want to freak you out or anything, but I do know when it's a normal spirit, I'm able to feel like if it was a man or a woman, or like, normally they just have something that they want to get across. Like, usually it's family members with their family members, or friends with someone like friends.
And it wasn't a family member.
And it wasn't a family member, and it wasn't a friend, it was just like an entity with you.
Why did you think to tell me about it? You know what I'm saying?
Well, the fact that it's like starting to do things makes me wonder if going to these places.
It's like giving it power in a weird way.
Yeah, like those weren't the words that I was gonna use, but yeah, like almost not feeding into it, but like, I mean, it has to enjoy going to these places. Like a lot of the places you go are pretty gnarly, high energy, tragedies happen, and negative things feed off of negative emotions. Fear, that'll feed them. Last night at dinner, it was standing behind you, probably like this close, just to the right off of your shoulder.
Could you tell if it was male or female, or is it not like that? It's like
I
there's an
keep
energy.
saying it for a reason.
Didn't you say it was like the height of like a child?
Yeah, I was like, I said it was almost.
Wait, okay, I'm so sorry for interrupting, but like, she did not just say that.
Again, we haven't put anything out about this.
No. And she just said it was a fucking child?
So we think.
Well, the height of a child.
A height of a child, okay.
We thought, I don't know if you ever heard of the Sally House. The Sally House is a little girl.
You know, I've met her. My childhood home when I was 12, like I had to move out because there was all these demons attached to it. There was one point I was around 10 years old maybe, and I walked up to my dad in the hallway and I go, Dad, there's a little girl in my room. The only thing that he ever said about it was like, Amanda, Amanda, I want you to know that I've seen that little girl too. And that was the end. That was the end of the discussion. We never mentioned it again. And then years later, I'm in high school watching like BuzzFeed Unsolved.
Yeah.
That's our favorite YouTube channel.
And the Sally house came up, and they showed this drawing rendition. I'm shaking thinking about her. The down to the sleeves, the braids, the ribbons in her hair. That was the little girl that used to come visit me in my house.
Dude, that is what we have been saying.
Dude, this sounds super meta. Like, we were kind of talking to ourselves, like, off camera, like, are we getting, like, too deep with this shit?
Yeah.
Because we were, like, inferring that maybe all these places that we were going to for season 1 all had, like, portals. And this Sally, quote-unquote Sally, whatever it is, was, like, following us through these links.
Sally is not actually a real thing. Sally never existed. Sally was like an apparition to be like, oh, I want to appear to be a little girl and invite people in.
When you were telling me that, it made me mad.
When you just said that, saying you saw it at the Conjuring house, that's what freaked me.
Now we're confused because we were like, okay, maybe we just need to go back to the Sally house and, like, drop her off. I don't know. Hopefully, get her the fuck out.
If this was at the Sally house, then we've never been to Sally house prior to Conjuring and all that stuff.
This was before the Sally house.
Why would it follow?
See, that's the question.
That's our main question. So
She said before the Sally house. They went to the Queen Mary before the Sally house.
Question.
yeah, I don't feel like it's so bad.
Didn't you tell me before that you had thought Sam had someone attached to him?
I told Mackie and her mom about my attachment, but not me.
I didn't know you like that.
Now I'm so confused because we were, like, on this whole Sally narrative for so long, and now I'm like,
literally
what?
baffled.
Like, where did this come from? It really doesn't matter. All we know is that there's something attached to you. At least it's not threatening, and we need to get it off of you somehow.
Yeah, however, there have been videos where it says malevolent. We came here because of the likes, but this is known to be USA's most haunted hotel, and for one really specific reason. The basement to the staircase and up is known as one of the most powerful vortexes, aka a portal.
You heard that too?
And up is known as one of the most powerful vortexes, aka a portal.
You heard that too?
Yeah. If the Stanley Hotel is this massive vortex and like one of the most powerful in the United States, maybe that's a good thing. Maybe that's something that you can send the things on. Hey, go ahead.
This was like the Disneyland for ghosts, so maybe it's a good spot to send somebody out.
Let's catch everyone up to speed on why the Stanley Hotel is haunted, and then we'll take a look around.
It actually feels like we've never left in a weird way.
The Stanley Hotel is the most famous and most haunted location in the United States. We're coming at this investigation way better. We have 3 years of experience under our belt. This time we have a medium, and you'll never guess who we are interviewing today.
Oh, I'm so excited. This is legendary. So why is this place called the Stanley Hotel?
We didn't even cover this last time.
Not at all. So there was a man by the name of F.O. Stanley, and he was a very rich, wealthy man. This dude created, for his time, which was early 1900s, the fastest car. It was called the Stanley Steamer.
Like the carpet cleaner?
He also helped Kodak build the first camera. But what's crazy about this story is that when he was 53 years old, he ended up coughing blood.
Guys.
He got...
Just so you know, I went to prom. This is not about Sam and Colby, but I went to prom, and here are some pictures. These are all the girls and the guys. This is just the juniors. Just the girls. My mammy. My junior prom. My prom date. Me and 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 my prom date. Me. Look at that, my dress. Me and my prom date. Me and my prom date at dinner. Makeup done. Post prom. And that's it. I went to prom. I'm so happy, and these are my nails. See? My nails. So let's continue reacting.
Tuberculosis, which we've talked about a lot before on our channel. Back then, since they didn't really have the medical procedures to cure that, the doctor recommended that him and his wife would move to a spot with higher altitude for his lungs with cleaner air. So it's almost like he was placed around this area. Like he had no choice. He was terminally ill, about to die. And then he moved here, magically recovered, and then ended up building this hotel.
Him and his wife, Flora, was like, hey, I want to bring this town to life. And all centered around his most prized possession.
The Stanley Hotel.
The Stanley Hotel.
And guys, like we were saying before, this is a Disneyland for the spirits here. This was actually just a resort for normal people when it was popping way back in the early 1900s.
It was super high class, too. A lot of people came here just to have a good time.
Teddy Roosevelt and the Emperor of Japan even visited here just because it was dope.
Most people only come here during the summer. Obviously, it's in Colorado, Estes Park. It's freezing here.
So why do we come here in the winter?
Because the story starts in the winter. The Shining.
Oh, yeah!
Stephen King, obviously, a very, very well-known writer. A lot of his works have been made into movies and stuff like that. Anyway, he was in a slump. He decided, hey, I want to go on a little vacation to get the juices flowing.
Yeah.
So on his way to find some juice, him and his wife are on the highway, and just like what happened today, they ran into a snowstorm. The last stop that they could make was at the Stanley Hotel. They checked in, and guess what? It was the last day before it closed for the winter.
Huh?
He got the best room in the place, and they informed him when he walked in he was the only one staying here. Stephen King went into room 217. He had a nightmare about his little boy being chased by a fire hose down the hall.
Oh, yeah. So in the movie, the little kid is riding the tricycle. Everybody knows that famous scene. He's going down the hallways, and the two little girls randomly appear. What's weird is Stephen King's dream was about a fire hose chasing his son.
But that whole nightmare is what created The Shining.
Yes.
And so he woke up in terror in the middle of the night, went out to his balcony, and started smoking a cigarette. Within that 5 minutes, he came up with The Shining as it is today.
Sam and I actually booked that room when we figured out we were going to come back to the Stanley after our video got the likes. And so we had the room booked under our names for 2 months. And only a week ago, we got a call from the Stanley Hotel saying, sorry, you guys can't come in anymore. It's closed for renovations, which is slightly interesting.
Yeah. What renovations do you have to do on a hotel room?
What I'm trying to figure out is, are we doing a part 3 now?
We have to.
God dang it!
No idea!
You stay alone in 217, I stay alone up here? Yeah, I like that!
I was 25 years old when I started my anti-aging skincare journey, and the main ingredient that I was looking to incorporate was tretinoin.
We have Hell Week 2 coming up this year. What if we come back and we for sure get 217? One of us stays in 217 alone.
Why do you say one of us when I was just you're gonna do it?
Okay, fine. What if I stay there alone with a night vision camera on the entire night?
No flashlights. And we duct tape you completely
No!
to the wall. So you're
I'm literally on the ceiling.
for how many legs?
5,000.
1,000?
100,000.
Oh shit! You wanna see that shit? Oh!
That's only if they get 500,000 likes. If they don't, we both stay naked in the same bed.
You have to do it.
Okay, moving on.
Let's get into why it's haunted. Now, we were talking about 217, but what actually happened in that room to make it so haunted?
The whole thing was powered by electricity, and one day the electricity went out. So in order to keep this place up and running, they had to turn on the gas. Now there was a weird gas leak that was everywhere. So one day, this housekeeper named Elizabeth Wilson lights a match immediately explodes the entire room.
How did she survive that?
She 100% survived and ended up coming on back.
People that have stayed in this room also feel poltergeist activity, getting touched. Things have been caught like falling over, like doors have been opening.
One of the main reports is that their stuff is being moved as if being cleaned up. Beds getting made and stuff like that, like typical housework.
Jim Carrey stayed in that room when he was filming Dumb and Dumber. Allegedly, during the middle of the night, he had to run out of the room literally half naked because something happened that he won't talk about. So I don't know if that says anything. It's just kind of a fun Jim Carrey fact. Besides the story of Elizabeth Wilson in 217, fourth floor is the most haunted floor of this entire hotel, and we have one of the most haunted rooms. And that's just scratching the surface, guys. I think we should talk about who haunts this entire hotel.
Starting with F.O. Stanley and his wife, Flora. They kept this as their pride and joy. They would obviously want to come back. F.O. Stanley is most commonly cited at the billiards bar, which we actually didn't get to investigate last time.
No.
He's seen playing pool all the time.
Apparently there's a piano in that room too that he supposedly sits down and plays. But I don't know, it doesn't sound like he's a very malevolent spirit.
Him and his wife Flora are often seen at what is called the vortex. We actually first figured out about what a vortex was here at the Stanley 3 years ago. Vortex is two mirrors are facing each other, and there is a giant vortex in the main hallway, in the main staircase. Another word for a vortex is a portal. We have been talking about portals every single episode on this.
You can't make this shit up.
Literally, it's too perfect.
And I mean, if this is the meeting spot for all spirits, what if we use the vortex to get rid of that attachment?
There has been many sightings, even people putting pictures on the news of these sightings of apparitions.
It is one of the clearest ghost pictures I've ever seen in my life. And I think that lady is Flora.
Speaking of Flora, she is one of the most commonly cited ghosts here. A lot of the Stanley Hotel was made because of her. Gold, red, and white, that's basically the main colors, are all her choices. The music room downstairs and the concert hall were built for her, and she played many concerts there. Her presence can be known if you smell the smell of roses. Did we not say it smelled like flowers as soon as we walked into this room?
It smells like roses or something.
The other thing that's off about Flora, she had been known to be super emotionally volatile. She was kind of always on edge here at the hotel.
All right, so moving on to Lucy, who is, of course, another little girl ghost that's probably living in Sam's ass.
I don't think we can say little girl. Lucy, she supposedly died from exposure because she was homeless here, and over the winter, she died. Now, there's no documentation of this happening, but that is the legend, and a lot of people have gotten the word Lucy all the time.
Another weird coincidence moment is she probably died around like this time.
So she's known to move objects, again, like we did last time with the lollipops. We literally caught on camera last time a lollipop moving things.
Oh, yeah.
What is the true form of Lucy? Is she actually a little girl that just wants to play, or is she using that as a way to connect and attach to people? Lucy just wants a friend. Those were the first words Sally said to us in Fort Henry. So this friend could have been Lucy the entire time.
Actually, it could be Jackie from the Queen Mary.
Very, very deep, and this literally goes back to our adventures back in 2019.
Or it could just be a very similar story.
That's kind of up for you to decide. We're going to try to figure that out today. This is it.
Beautiful.
God.
It's creepy, right?
Yeah, it's super creepy. Beautiful.
This is where they all travel in and out from.
F.O. was the first ever owner. In fact, that'd be his portrait
Not
right up
that
there. You can see his
Jack.
reflection.
Oh! This guy is definitely the creepiest, though. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh, God.
I wish I could tell you more about these guys, honestly.
Yeah, who is that guy?
If I could.
He's definitely a lizard person.
You were saying that they hook mirrors facing each other to help the spirits? I thought
Help them move on.
I thought facing mirrors made it like worse.
The thing is that the portal will happen regardless because of the place that we're actually situated on. We are actually founded on an entire lodestone of limestone quartz, which is a spiritually conductive rock right there. If you want to think about it, it's just a giant spirit battery we're sitting up on top of.
Wow.
So we should go check that out.
Let's do it.
Guys, welcome to Stanley's tunnel systems.
Oh, shit. Whoa. Whoa. Did we come in here? We definitely came in here for a second and just saw it.
It was not in our video, though.
You're getting a lot of deja vu.
Weirdly, yes. I think we have been in here before.
This is the last original tunnel that has not been caved in. More towards the end of this tunnel right here.
Whoa! Whoa, 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 what? Holy shit.
What was that? Is that just like machinery?
Not machinery. There's no machinery above us. It's an empty room.
There's gotta be something.
That sounds like it's over there.
Yeah, no, it doesn't even sound above us.
Well, now it does.
It sounds more like a...
Look.
Nobody's outside. So it's definitely above us.
Why would anybody be there?
Right now, not entirely too sure. It is pretty late. Also, this crevice right here has captured some paranormal activity in the past as well.
Down in here, yeah?
Yeah.
It looks like Gollum. No.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my god, that does look like Gollum. Holy shit.
Careful about calling him that, because he might know yes is precious.
Well, you guys said it first, not me.
So this is the battery.
This is the battery right here. You guys want to see something particularly terrifying?
Yeah.
If you get your light right on this side of the truss right here, you see that wooden shim sticking out the left side of the truss?
Like right there?
Right
That
there.
thing right there?
That is the hardest working thing in the Stanley Hotel because turns out that shim right there carries the majority weight of the hotel, and if it gives out, we slide off the side of the Rockies, becoming the largest pile of rubble here in Estes Park.
What? And there's a Gollum thing crawling around this area?
Oh, yeah.
Like, what the fuck?
I mean, if I was coming back here to haunt this place, I would want this to still be a hotel so people keep coming around.
True. You
People
have your
usually-
home there, you know?
Exactly.
You want attention, you have to have the place.
Exactly.
Is there anybody in
Was
there?
that not down there?
There shouldn't be.
No, that was in there for sure.
So you know how Stanley Hotel is in a place called Estes Park? You guys know how we do this little method? It's called the Estes method. What we did not realize is the Estes method was created in Estes Park by a guy named Connor Randall at the Stanley Hotel. Imagine the full circle moment. The first investigation we ever bought a spirit box was here. We are going to interview the founder of the Estes method at Stanley Hotel and see what he knows.
I don't know if he's ever done this before.
I don't know. I'm going to find out. Here we go.
Let's go talk to him.
Guys are here with the legend.
Thanks. My name is Connor Randall. I've been a paranormal investigator for a good 15 years now. Started when I was just a young teenager, and then I worked here at the Stanley running their paranormal program in a lot of ways, and was one of the resident paranormal investigators up here for 5 years.
Wow.
Pretty
Whoa,
much like
5 years?
lived up at the hotel and know it like the back of my hand. Yeah, so I got you. Have had a lot of fun diving really deep into paranormal experiments, parapsychological experiments. The weirder the better.
You kind of take a more scientific approach to it, right?
Sure. I'm really device-based. I appreciate having instruments. That said, I've learned a lot about the human body as an instrument as well.
Really?
Being here and working here for 5 years,
Yeah.
I was able to see a long-term view of
For
what this
sure.
place is like, which is unusual. Most people come in and out for a few nights. I think it's haunted because people believe that it's haunted. Imagine it as sort of like a beacon of light where it's like, this is a place where you will be listened to. You could have bet that 365 nights of the year, there's probably at least one person here who wants to talk to the ghosts.
True.
That's a
I mean, that's
really
why we're
good
there.
point. Have you ever heard of something called an egregore or an egregore? It's kind of like that in a
It's kind
sense,
of like
right?
that. It's a thought force. Now, I've heard a lot of stories of like historical spirits here, where it's like, oh, F.O. Stanley, the
Yeah.
owner, people would see him in the lobby, Mrs. Wilson in room 217, people hear children running up and down the hallway because we're on the 4th floor, right? A lot of the people who experienced activity here, it wasn't from somebody in an old Victorian dress, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it's more modern.
Yeah.
So does that mean you believe in attachments?
No, I think so. I think it's possible.
Great.
You're saying the haunts could have been brought here and or other things could have come here through, let's say, the vortex?
Sure.
Or
Whatever you want to call it.
What would you call that?
I would call it a beacon of attention.
Here's the... Here's the famous hedge maze. Dun dun dun. Yo, we're never gonna see him again.
Okay, so this is what literally happened in the movie. He ran this way. He turned the corner, and remember, this kid was so smart, he like got rid of his snow track.
Yeah.
And then he ran the other way. Like it was, dude, I love that.
Dude. Come here, bud. Oh, yeah, that's Harry.
This is the concert hall.
FO built this for Flora.
Flora Stanley, since this was kind of built as a love letter to her, has been seen walking across this very stage. In fact, she usually enters from stage right over there, pensively walks back and forth across stage before exiting stage right again. They kind of played on loop as if you were watching a 3D movie.
Residual.
You may have done your research on them beforehand, but we do have Lucy, Paul, and Dennis that walk in this very concert hall even to this day. Dennis, however, is the one person that we do not want to meet here tonight because Dennis has the unfortunate attribute of leaving scratches on the backs of people's necks, arms, and backs when he does arrive here.
Do you know if they used to have like spiritual parties here and stuff?
Keep that in mind because I want to tell you a little bit more about that.
You were just talking
I
about
was
that.
before we went to dinner. Mackie and I were in our room. This woman walked in and she was in a white dress and like woven sun hat, you know what I mean? It was like beige. She just like stopped and looked at me and she was super polite. She goes, "Good afternoon." And I said it was almost like she was stuck in a little loop. The other thing I thought was like I kept seeing Ouija boards.
Sick. Okay.
Yo.
Full idea.
The two most active spirits we ever ran into here was a spirit named Lucy and a spirit named Eddie. Now, a lot of people have heard of Lucy.
Yes, she's pretty famous.
She's supposedly a young homeless woman who froze to death outside. My teammates and I, we never found anything about a young woman who died from exposure in records. But you'd think they would know if somebody was living in the basement. I don't know what started the story, and I don't really think that the story of Lucy is true, but
Something is
I've interacted with Lucy, and maybe you guys have interacted with Lucy.
So what brought her here?
So either something is wearing the hat, acting.
Oh my God, I'm sorry. That's just everything that we've been like talking about.
Full body chill.
Me too.
This whole place could be haunted by one ghost who just likes to put on disguise.
Like as a puppeteer of a bunch of.
Possible. If you take 10,000 people on a ghost tour for 15 years and you tell them this story of this homeless woman who died and it's so sad, etc., etc., perhaps it's possible that they created the consciousness of the spirit themselves.
I see.
You're saying you have gotten her and like.
Oh, we've gotten her. We've gotten her voice. I've heard her do a sing-song humming in empty buildings and rooms.
Have you seen the lollipop thing happen or no?
I'm not sure. I think that might be the same sort of trick, like a Ouija board where it's something going on. Sure.
Yeah.
So I don't know about that, but I do know I have audibly caught voices of a young woman answering to Lucy.
Yo, I recognize this room.
You do?
It was on like the news for closing doors and random stuff.
Oh, that's terrifying.
Welcome to Lucy's room here, guys. What we do know about Lucy is that she would be a runaway. To get away from the cold, she would break into this very concert hall and squat in this very room. For some reason, we were still able to afford a caretaker. One of the theories goes that you came in here one night looking for Lucy, and to find her frozen, dead corpse splayed out along the carpet right here.
Right there?
What?
There.
Mackie, do you have a scratch on your neck?
Wait, stop, don't say that.
Oh, I see it. It's like a tiny bit of red.
It looks like 2 marks right there.
If y'all start eliciting things like this, I gotta get out of here. You know that, right?
Yeah.
I gotta come back to this job. That is Lucy's closet. That was the one place she favored during her life to hide away from that same caretaker.
For sure, that makes a lot of sense.
You actually look down to the left of it, you can still see one of the original tunnel systems.
Why do I barely remember this?
I kind of remember that too.
I would hear a girl shrieking and crying at the top of her lungs for a solid 10 seconds before it cut into dead silence.
You heard that with your own ear?
Yep, and it was the worst experience I've had here, and I hope to never have another one.
And you've only been working here for what, 3 months?
3 months.
Oh my God, so it's recent. Yo.
10 seconds.
Solid 10 seconds. Yep.
Who's Eddie?
Eddie is really interesting. We started to notice over and over again who we initially called the smelly man. Because we didn't know anything else about. There would be this like bad BO smell that would come through, and then an object would move. And so it was like, what's
In front of your eyes?
Yeah, sometimes.
Whoa!
Wow.
I saw a flashlight jump up once. We've had doors and windows slam in our face.
Oh my God.
Things not be where you left them here occasionally. Eddie was the name that we got initially because a whole bunch of people who said they were psychics or mediums would start to just say that name, and we're like, I don't know about that. And then we started to get it on devices over and over again. Ed, Edward, Eddie. And it would usually be followed by some scary word sometimes. Blood, anger, blah, 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 something like that. It almost seemed like it was in sort of a hokey way, like he was trying to scare people in a sense, because nothing ever really bad happened. It started to become more and more to the point where he was essentially our most active spirit.
Wow.
And when we started doing the Estes method, it was him that would talk over and over again. People would feel kisses on their cheek. They would feel a slap or a touch on the behind. There would be a lot of object moving. I don't want to say that Eddie has like, oh, he's all my ghost, he's followed me, but then some stuff started to happen in my home as well.
Wait.
And so
we're like, he followed you?
Well, I mean, I kind of left an open invitation, to be honest. I was like,
Show the world right now that you can cause some damage if you really wanted to.
Yeah, is that bad to leave an open invitation?
I don't know. It depends. I mean, if you're an investigator, be an investigator all the time, man.
Yeah.
What are you doing? Yeah. I think that Eddie came up here with somebody in 2013 and was getting attention and stuck around. So much of the stuff that you hear about, like the old-fashioned ghosts, are very much sort of residual entities, right? It's like a record of time is broken and it keeps replaying.
Yes, yes.
Frankly, I noticed more in the wintertime than in the summer. And we're here right now. Yeah, good luck. Concert hall is where the majority of my interactions took place.
Whoa!
Yeah.
Why do you think that is?
Maybe that's sort of their space to have some space. In fact, a lot of interactions with Lucy were in the basement of the concert hall, which is allegedly where she was staying.
For sure.
When Eddie started to come around, we started to notice a little bit less from Lucy and the other spirits. There was another ghost named Paul we used to talk to.
He was like a drunk guy, or like he likes alcohol or something.
He was, I guess, an old security guard who worked here back in the day who passed away shoveling snow, had a heart attack. That's what I heard.
Gotcha.
So he'll walk around the outbuildings at night, you'll hear his keys jingling, and hey, you gotta get out of here.
This is what is known as Paul's room.
Why'd you close the door? What the fuck?
I know I gotta practice doing that all the time to spook people. But yeah, you can even see right there that is a little tribute left of Paul himself. Bit of a jack of all trades kind of guy around here. Definitely more your groundskeeper, maintenance guy, but more than anything, he loved to play security guard. He would only work with us from about 1995 till about 2005, because the winter of 2005, he was shoveling those very steps outside the concert hall when he would suffer a heart attack. This is the one room where he shows up the most. I can move you to the most haunted part right here. It's gonna be the main hall of the basement, turns out.
Let's see it. Alright.
So I know it may not seem as like tight or as oppressive as the other rooms, but it is the most haunted room here. It is because of that very mirror right there.
Wait, actually?
Actually, yeah. Back in the 80s, it was dropped off at our doorstep. We don't know where it came from. We don't know who dropped it off. We have over 13 known spirits here in the concert hall alone.
Whoa! Looks like a dress almost.
It does.
I'm glad you caught that, because with the thinner top and the more bulbous bottom right there, chances are that would be a woman going to one of the parties here during her life.
Wow.
We got a family on our tour right here, and they would be joined by a spirit
Oh no.
peering at them
Oh my god.
through the other side.
Yo!
If it's not early 1900s, it'd be pretty close. I mean, it's been redone, it's been
There's
refinished.
a bunch of tours in here, aren't there?
Huh?
No. What's up?
It sounds like there was people upstairs. Like it sounded like people were talking and walking.
Where did you hear that coming from?
Kind of like up this area.
I heard that way.
Like up and to the left.
It's just the concert hall, but, you know, our patrons, especially that one photo I did show you of that woman in the kind of dress right there, spirits do like to just pop around and mingle a lot of times upstairs too.
I love this question. Let me show you. Okay, so first you're gonna find the Stitch Fix styling quiz. This gives your stylist everything they need to send you.
You were the founder and inventor of the Estes method?
Yeah, that's correct.
That's crazy!
Legendary.
How many
That is
people
legendary.
use that?
Yeah, it kind of blew up.
We started using the Estes method maybe 6 months ago.
Yeah, in the Conjuring House.
And it's literally like changed the way we investigate.
Was it created in the Stanley Hotel or just Estes?
Yeah, in Stanley, mostly in the basement of the concert hall.
So we have to do it in the basement.
That's the original spot. The Estes method is a parapsychological experiment. One person is what you call the receiver, and they'll listen to a spirit box. A spirit box is the device that scans through radio frequencies really quickly. And that person is sitting in their own world. They can't hear anything that's going on around them, and they say what they hear come over the box. The other people in the room are the questioners.
You said you watched a video or two of ours. Do you have any like tips or that would make this better for us in the future?
For sure. Not only have I spent, trying not to brag, like probably 200 hours like listening to the box, sort of being under. I have people sending me their sessions now as well. Here's my top tips. If you're the receiver, if you're listening, you want to be as comfortable as possible. You want to sit back. If you can find a rocking chair, that's even better. That sort of like rocking back and forth motion can help you enter into that trance-like state a little bit faster sometimes.
And you think being in the trance-like state like helps you concentrate or something like that?
Absolutely. I think you need to sort of empty your mind and become as much of a conduit as you can.
It's almost like meditating in a way, right?
It's very meditative, and it's important that you don't editorialize. Don't say, it sounded like a male voice said banana. You're putting yourself too much into it. All you would say is just banana. As you're sitting back and listening, some things might start to happen to you, and that means that you're entering into a really good session. It's possible that your eyes will start to water. That actually happens to people who are under hypnosis as well. You need to have a good system for waking the person back up. It's really scary if you just shake somebody on the shoulder.
We do that every time.
It's funny. I mean, if you want to do it for comedic value, but like sometimes people will implement smells so they can sort of more gently wake up like that. For the questioner, everybody else in the room, you want to be asking for what I call control questions. Every few minutes, I'll ask something really random. Can you name a bird? Any kind of bird? Something that the person on the box wouldn't necessarily be expecting you to ask. If you're sitting in the room and I'm like, oh, I'm in the room with the ghost of Maggie, who was a maid. The person who's on the box. The person who's on the box, they're gonna have that in their mind.
Dang, we've been doing this kind of wrong.
You're learning, that's okay. I think that if you sit somebody down and you tell them, you're gonna be hearing weird noises over this box, we want you to say what you're hearing. I think that they might enter into a perfect sort of trance state. They become a conduit, and it almost is like the words are being psychically received. What's putting those words in their mind? It could be the entities out there, or it could be that they're picking up on the psychic impressions of the people around them. It's the human body as an instrument of communication.
Like we are the ghost equipment.
What? You are. People always say, well, it's just in your mind. But in my view, that doesn't mean that something didn't put it there.
That's our room. We didn't have the TV on.
428 right there.
Wait, you're staying in 428?
No, we're in
We are.
6. They're in 428.
We're
You're in 428?
Yes.
Careful, guys. You might get a cowboy kissing on you here.
Let's go! Wait, but that TV is definitely on.
Yeah, we definitely didn't have it on.
Wait, so is this the billiards room right here?
This would be the billiards room.
I
So
see.
apparently this is where FO is seen to be playing some billiards. FO Stanley balls right there.
In fact, you see those ones that are yellowing right there? Those are made of 100% pure ivory. This very near right there has caught the visages of FO and Flora walking in lockstep. Our scary Mary would take about 4 of our tour guides down to Lucy's room to where she would pull out a Ouija board and they would try to contact the dead. It would only last in there about 10 minutes though, because after lights on it, 2 of the tour guides were passed out, not being able to be woken until 5 minutes after lights on. Oh yeah, one of the other tour guides, he had apparently seen a dog standing about 2 inches away from his face.
A dog?
His face prepared and its ears back, looking like it was about to strike.
Oh my god.
And it looked like anything between a Doberman, a German Shepherd, and a wolf. According to a lot of different people, that's what's known as a black dog or a hellhound right there.
Say that if you see a hellhound or like a black dog like that, you're about to die. Like it's like a sign, like it's an omen.
If you do make a deal with the devil and your time is about to come, he sends his hounds to collect your soul.
That's fucked. And I mean, they were playing with the Ouija board, so like.
Yeah, they're
it's the worst point.
That kind of stuff right
Yeah.
No Ouija boards. That I'm talking to you. Talking to you. And you.
you're going to be stripped of 20 to 25 decibels of room noise alone. And then you add the box on top of that. You can put this on anybody, even if you think they're faking
For
it,
sure.
and they're not gonna hear anything beyond. I've had success with both AM and FM. I tell people to relax as much as possible and then start to rock with the rhythm of the
Yo, wait, you subconsciously do that all the time. For some random reason, you just did that automatically.
Yeah.
Wow.
Whoa.
That's cool.
You're picking up on it. So
Hey.
You could be a really good receiver. And with some practice, you could get to the point where you have solid communication, I'm sure.
See, that is something I really, really, really want to work on in season 2, is just like being that sort of meditative like person instead of freaking out in every situation.
Part of the Stanley though, but you'll be fine. You'll be fine. One of the other things we use sometimes is headphone splitters. Have 2 people listen to the box at the same time.
Oh, I've never tried that. No.
This was the box we used to create the method. Yeah.
No way.
Yeah, this one. So this was the old tour guide stickers, and we would.
That was the original box that created the SS method.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's time to do it.
If you Walmart, you know
Sorry about the ads.
that with everyday low prices, you can spend a little less to get a little more, to make life a little better. Here's to a new feeling. One where comfort follows your definition and every move feels weightless. Here's to unlocking absolute confidence.
It's time to do the SS method.
My name's Connor, and I'm the co-creator of this crazy method. So, see what we got.
You cannot hear anything.
Okay, good.
Colby, actually, we had one question real quick. He's gone.
Yeah, he's out 100%. Touch it. There you go.
So if there are...
Park.
Now, he's gonna be hearing stuff. And we want to make sure we can sort of direct the conversation and see if this is just radio noise or see if this is communication, right? If there are any spirits here, my name's Connor, this is Colby and Sam. You might recognize all of us. We've all been here. And we want to speak with you. And we'd like to say hello.
We want to talk to you, want to communicate with you.
Test.
And I am asking this as a favor of any spirit who's here at the Stanley who's listening now. If you could get prepped for tonight.
Here.
Tonight they're going to be working through some methods and some experiments here at the hotel. I know that there's a lot of ghosts here, and I want to give you permission to speak through them. They're very open now. They're ready to talk.
He's doing his bob in the head.
Yeah, it's good. All of your thoughts sort of leave your mind. It's kind of relaxing in a sense.
Method.
I want to know if you can see us.
Maybe say our names.
Familiar.
Ooh, you are familiar with us.
Probably know
You.
him. I've been here a while too.
He's back.
Hey, he's back.
My first time here in a year and a half. My name's Connor.
Hey.
Hi. It's good to be here with you. We're in room 428. If anybody in the hotel can hear me right now, and we want to speak with you.
Arm.
We're gonna have him on this box, and then later on tonight, they're gonna really experiment.
Look.
Can you name what you want us to look at?
The stairs.
Ooh.
That's cool.
The stairs as in like the vortex?
Are you describing the stairs? What does the carpet on the stairs look like? I simply want to know if you can see what we can see.
Where you been?
Sounds like he's talking to you.
I've
Hey.
been out there exploring in other parts of the country, and you're welcome to come along anytime.
Do you miss Connor?
Yep.
Hey!
I'm here.
Yo, that's awesome.
That's really nice.
Oh my
I
goodness.
miss you all too. Are you a spirit I've talked to before in this hotel?
I was there.
Okay. When was that? 10 years ago? 7 years ago?
You already know. Music.
Lucy's the one who would like music sometimes, so it could be her too.
Okay, maybe.
I had to.
Are you talking about the concert hall, or is there a certain type of music you'd like Sam and Colby to play for you?
Basement.
Basement of the concert hall, right?
That's where they hang out.
Yeah.
If they go to the basement of the concert hall later, will you speak with them?
I'm there.
Wow! Oh my god.
Over there.
Yeah, over there in the concert hall.
Like I said, once you turn
Communicate.
that beacon on,
Yes, once you turn it on, they can
no matter where they
communicate.
are, he literally has an antenna in his hands, and in a sense is becoming an antenna.
The last like 2 months.
Red.
Maybe that was what he was. The red pretty
The
stairs.
stairs are red.
Yeah, so he was answering that a few minutes late.
Yeah.
We failed to mention that we pretty much believe through all of our SS sessions that there is a little girl that's been around us. Thought that she was from this
Me.
place called the Sally House.
Here.
Me here. But
Right up top.
we have a medium here with us today, and she believes it could
This
have
is
been Lucy and or someone prior.
This was before the Sally House.
I wouldn't expect it to be the literal spirit of Lucy, like I said. But
Yeah, that's what we're like worried about, is someone who's impersonating Lucy.
it's possible. I think that there's haunted people, not haunted places, in that sense. There's another thing that you'll notice, and
music.
I kind of like that he's not going to hear this, and I'll just tell it to you, because see if it happens later on. Sometimes they don't answer
Beautiful.
your questions directly, but they make you aware that they can see what's happening in the room. You'll walk across the floor, and they'll say, 7 steps
Next one.
across the floor. You know, it's like they're watching.
You should.
Yeah,
But they're not answering correctly.
that makes sense. We'll watch out for that
See
too.
if that
Indirect
happens.
answers.
Is there, like, perhaps a...
Name.
Yeah, I was gonna say name.
No
I was
way
gonna
you
go
were
for, like a name that you could give us, whether it be one of our names or your name.
I know her.
Perhaps you could at some point give her a sign.
I'm trying.
No.
Thank you, thank
Thank
you.
you for trying.
We just want to have you stick around with us so you can communicate later tonight. Do you think you could do that? You could stay with us?
Come find out.
No way. Oh my god. Okay.
Let's try one more control just to see if you can still hear me from the concert hall.
No.
Oh my god.
Well,
Maybe.
ask anyway.
Did you say
Go.
Eddie? Go?
He's a jokester.
Didn't you say Eddie was a
His
jokester?
nickname was Asshole, actually. If there's a
Concert.
Whoa.
If there's a name down in the concert hall that you'd like to go by later tonight, or a name that can trigger that it's you,
It's been a while.
the same spirit that we're talking with,
Could you give us a hint?
Colby. Oh my god.
It said Colby. Wait, didn't we ask to recognize who?
one of us.
Yeah.
You.
We got the description of the stairs a few minutes later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Watching.
He's doing well. I imagine when he takes it off, hopefully he had a really empty
The keys.
Just as a final question.
Friend.
No way. I was literally gonna ask that. I don't know if that ruins that, but a while.
Friend.
No way! A long time ago, someone that was with me said that they just wanted to hang out to become friends. Was that you?
Yes.
Jesus. No way.
Thank you for answering.
Thank you so much.
We'll be speaking with you later tonight as well. So I'm just gonna kind of tap gently around him because I don't want to totally jar him away.
Okay.
There he is.
My eyes are watering.
Oh, actually?
It's possible that your eyes will start to water.
Oh my god.
Whoa, did that make any sense?
Right off the bat, you were like, I miss him. I'm glad he's back.
Really?
It was super
Like,
nice.
hey, it's you. Welcome back.
And then right at the end, whoever kept pointing to the concert hall. He said, are you going to be able to go over there and talk to us? And he specifically said the basement of the concert hall, which
That's
is...
where you talk to Eddie, right?
Seemed like they